Good morning, gentlemen. I want you to picture this for a moment. What if the first thing you eat every morning could quietly decide whether you spend the day feeling energized, strong, and confident, or sluggish, heavy, and frustrated? Now imagine that this decision isn't about some fancy supplement or a trip to the doctor. It's about the food you put on your plate before the clock even hits 9. Most men don't realize it, but the very breakfast they believe is healthy could actually be sabotaging their blood flow and draining their strength in ways they never connected. And here's the part that surprises my patients the most. It's not always about age. I've seen men in their 60s, 70s, even 80s turn things around dramatically once they made a few simple but targeted changes to their morning meals. I'm Dr. Sophia Jain. And for over 2 decades, I've worked with men who thought their best days were behind them. They came to me with heavy legs, low stamina, and a quiet frustration about performance, both on their feet and in the more private parts of life. Many had tried medication or endless vitamins with little change. What they hadn't tried was fixing what was right in front of them, their breakfast plate. The truth is, your body is ready to support strong circulation, keep your muscles firing, and protect your intimate vitality, but only if you give it the right fuel. Certain morning foods have been shown in solid scientific studies to open blood vessels, improve oxygen delivery, and even restore nitric oxide production, which is absolutely critical for maintaining healthy blood flow as you get older. Today, I'm going to walk you through 5 specific breakfast foods that can do just that. These aren't exotic, hard-to-find ingredients. In fact, you might already have at least one of them in your kitchen right now. And when they're used together, their effects can multiply, creating a ripple that can transform how you feel from morning until night. Let's start with one of my favorites, a leafy green that doesn't just belong on a dinner plate, but can completely change your morning routine. Spinach. You've probably heard about its iron content or how it builds strong muscles, but the real magic for men over 60 lies in its high nitrate content. When you eat spinach, those nitrates are converted into nitric oxide in your body, a compound that relaxes and whitens your blood vessels, allowing blood to flow more easily to every part of your body, including the pelvic area. This means better stamina, warmer extremities, and a noticeable boost in confidence. One of my patients, Thomas, 65, had been waking up with numbness in his legs and a strange heaviness in his lower body. He blamed it on getting older and stuck to his usual breakfast of coffee and white toast. When I suggested adding 2 cups of fresh spinach to his morning smoothie, he gave me a skeptical look but agreed to try it for a month. By the end of the 3rd week, he walked into my office with a completely different energy. His legs felt lighter, he was moving faster, and most importantly, he felt more alive. Spinach works especially well in the morning because your nitric oxide levels naturally dip overnight. Eating spinach early gives your body a mid-morning peak in circulation that can last for hours. And you don't have to eat it raw if that's not your style. Lightly steaming it or blending it into a smoothie with fruit works just as well. The key is consistency. A handful here and there won't create a change you can feel, but making it part of your daily morning habit can. Now, while spinach gets the blood flowing, there is another breakfast option that works on a completely different but equally important system, your gut. You might not think your gut health has anything to do with your circulation, but in reality, the two are deeply connected. A balanced gut reduces low-level inflammation in your body, and that inflammation, if left unchecked, can stiffen and damage the inner lining of your blood vessels. This is where Greek yogurt paired with antioxidant-rich berries comes in. Greek yogurt is packed with live probiotics that support a healthy gut microbiome. A balanced gut doesn't just aid digestion, it actually helps your body produce and protect nitric oxide, amplifying the effect of nitrate-rich foods like spinach. When you add berries to the mix, blueberries, blackberries, raspberries, you're giving your blood vessels a direct dose of anthocyanins, powerful plant compounds that improve their flexibility and protect nitric oxide from breaking down too quickly. One man I worked with, Dennis, 62, used to complain that by early afternoon, his legs felt like they were made of cement. He wasn't in pain, but the heaviness made him want to sit down more than he wanted to move. I suggested replacing his usual buttered muffin with a bowl of Greek yogurt topped with fresh blueberries. Within 2 weeks, that afternoon heaviness was nearly gone. He told me that he'd even started walking his dog twice a day instead of once because he actually wanted to move. This simple combination, Greek yogurt and berries, gives you a double advantage. You're calming inflammation, protecting your blood vessels, and supporting the very pathways that keep your circulation strong. And when your circulation is strong, everything from your energy levels to your intimate health benefits. The third food on our list may surprise you because it's often dismissed as just a trendy brunch item: avocado. This smooth green fruit is far more than a side dish for toast. Avocados are rich in monounsaturated fats and potassium, which are both essential for keeping your arteries flexible and responsive. These nutrients help improve something called flow-mediated dilation, which is just a scientific way of saying your blood vessels can expand and contract the way they should. I once had a patient, Howard, 59, who thought avocado was overrated, but he agreed to try adding half an avocado to his breakfast every day for a month. 2 weeks later, he told me that his legs didn't feel as tired when climbing stairs and that he'd stopped having that mid-afternoon crash. Avocado's healthy fats also help your body absorb fat-soluble vitamins like A, D, E, and K, nutrients that all support vascular health. Pairing avocado with a vitamin C-rich fruit, like orange slices, can make those benefits even stronger. So by the time you've had spinach, Greek yogurt with berries, and avocado in your morning, you've already tackled circulation from 3 different angles: boosting nitric oxide, protecting blood vessels, and improving nutrient absorption. But we're not done yet. There's a fourth food that feels indulgent, but has legitimate, science-backed power to improve circulation: dark chocolate. I'll pause here before we get into the final 2 foods, because the next part ties everything together into a powerful morning routine you can actually follow every day without feeling like you're on a strict health plan. Dark chocolate in the morning might sound like an excuse to eat dessert for breakfast, but the right kind, high in cacao, low in sugar, offers one of the most concentrated natural sources of flavonols you can get. These plant compounds increase nitric oxide production, relax your blood vessels, and improve their ability to deliver blood where it's needed. For men over 60, this means more oxygen to your muscles, more energy in your day, and better circulation in areas you might have thought were slowing down for good. I had a patient named Leonard, 63, who was skeptical when I suggested adding 1 or 2 small squares of 70% dark chocolate to his breakfast. But he trusted me enough to give it a try. Within a week, he noticed his mornings felt sharper. No more sitting at the kitchen table waiting for his energy to kick in. His walks felt easier, his mood was better, and he admitted with a smile that other things seemed to be waking up too. The best time for dark chocolate is the morning because your antioxidant levels are low after a night of sleep. Flavonols help restore that balance quickly, priming your circulation for the rest of the day. Pairing dark chocolate with your coffee or tea isn't just delicious, it's strategic. And when you combine it with the other foods we've talked about, you're hitting multiple circulation pathways at once. That brings us to the 5th food, a deep red, jewel-like fruit that ancient kings prized for strength and stamina: pomegranate. Modern research confirms what tradition always suspected. Pomegranate is packed with polyphenols that protect and enhance nitric oxide, keeping your blood vessels open and flexible. 2 of its most powerful compounds, elagitannins and anthocyanins, fight oxidative stress, which is one of the main enemies of healthy circulation as you age. One of my clients, Gerald, 68, had struggled with cold hands and feet for years. His wife joked that his hands were like ice cubes. I suggested adding 4 ounces of pure pomegranate juice to his breakfast every day. Within 3 weeks, not only were his hands warmer, but he reported feeling more alert in the mornings and noticed his walks felt smoother. When he went for a checkup, his doctor told him his blood flow markers had improved, a confirmation that the change wasn't just in his head. The beauty of pomegranate is how quickly it can work. Some studies have shown measurable improvements in blood vessel function within hours of drinking it. And over time, those benefits build, almost like training your blood vessels to stay open and responsive. Now, here's where things get even more interesting. Each of these foods, spinach, Greek yogurt with berries, avocado, dark chocolate, and pomegranate, works on a different piece of the circulation puzzle. But when you bring them together in the same morning, something remarkable happens. We call it nutrient synergy. Your probiotics from the yogurt improve how you process nitrates from the spinach. Vitamin C from the berries enhances the absorption of flavonols in the chocolate. Healthy fats from the avocado help your body make the most of the polyphenols in pomegranate. Antioxidants from the chocolate, berries, and pomegranate shield the entire system, keeping nitric oxide active longer. I worked with a man named Samuel, 71, who was dealing with sluggish energy, heavy legs, and low confidence. He committed to a morning routine built around all 5 of these foods. His version looked like this: a spinach and berry smoothie blended with Greek yogurt, half an avocado on whole grain toast, 2 squares of dark chocolate with coffee, and a small glass of pomegranate juice. After 10 days, he told me he felt like someone had turned the lights back on in his body. His energy was steady, his legs felt strong, and he felt more capable in every sense of the word. When you think about it, the logic makes perfect sense. You're giving your body the raw materials it needs to keep blood vessels healthy, reduce inflammation, and maintain the nitric oxide that makes good circulation possible. You're also doing it in a way that's natural, enjoyable, and sustainable. No pills, no gimmicks, no side effects. It's important to remember that this isn't about perfection. You don't have to hit all 5 foods every single morning to see benefits. Starting with just 1 or 2 consistently can make a difference. But the closer you get to including all of them regularly, the more you'll feel that compounding effect. Better warmth in your hands and feet, more energy for your day, and a renewed sense of strength and confidence. The first hour after you wake up is a window of opportunity. What you eat in that time sets the tone for your blood flow for the rest of the day. Most men fill that window with refined carbs, sugar, or nothing at all, and then wonder why they feel sluggish, cold, or unmotivated by mid-morning. By replacing those empty choices with foods that actively work to support your circulation, you're stacking the odds in your favor every single day. Think about where you want to be 6 months from now. Do you want to be wishing you'd started sooner? Or do you want to be reaping the benefits of better circulation, stronger energy, and more vitality? I've seen men in their 70s and 80s make incredible turnarounds, not because they chased quick fixes, but because they committed to small, smart daily habits. So tomorrow morning, take a look at your plate. Ask yourself, is this meal helping my blood flow, my energy, and my confidence? Or is it quietly working against me? The answer is in your control, and the power to change starts the moment you decide to act. One thing I've noticed over the years is that men often underestimate how quickly their bodies can respond when given the right nutrition. You might think, at my age, changes take months. But the truth is, your blood vessels are dynamic. They respond within hours to what you eat. That's why a single breakfast high in circulation-boosting foods can have an immediate effect: warmer hands, better focus, lighter steps. And when you repeat that day after day, you're not just improving how you feel in the moment, you're laying the foundation for long-term vascular health. Let me share another story. Richard, 66, came to me frustrated that he'd lost his morning drive, not just in the gym, but in his daily motivation. He told me, "Sophia, I feel like my get up and go got up and left." We started small. His first step was swapping his plain white toast and margarine for half an avocado on sprouted grain bread. He added a handful of spinach to his morning eggs and started keeping a bar of dark chocolate in the pantry. 2 weeks later, he walked into my office with a grin and said, "I'm not sure if it's the food or the fact that I'm proud of myself, but I feel like me again." That pride matters. Every time you make a choice that supports your health, you're telling yourself you still have control, and that message shows up not just in your body, but in your mindset. Now, I know some men might be wondering, what if I don't have time to prepare all this in the morning? Here's the secret. You don't have to prepare everything from scratch each day. You can batch wash your spinach and berries on Sunday, keep pomegranate juice in the fridge, and pre-slice your avocado the night before. You can even make Greek yogurt parfaits in jars. Layer the yogurt, berries, and a sprinkle of nuts, and they're ready to grab and go. The point is to make these choices easy, because the easier they are, the more likely you are to stick with them. And speaking of nuts, adding a small handful of walnuts or almonds to your breakfast can be a bonus. They're rich in L-arginine, an amino acid that helps your body produce nitric oxide. They also provide healthy fats and minerals like magnesium, which relax blood vessels. This is how you can start to customize the core plan, add supporting foods that you enjoy and that fit your routine. Hydration is another piece of the puzzle that's easy to overlook. Dehydration thickens your blood, making it harder for your heart to pump it efficiently. Starting your morning with a glass of water before your coffee or tea can make a noticeable difference in your circulation. Some of my patients like to add a squeeze of lemon for extra vitamin C, which also supports nitric oxide function. Here's something most men don't realize. Better circulation isn't just about your blood vessels. It's about your entire body chemistry. When your circulation improves, your muscles get more oxygen, your brain gets more nutrients, and your hormone levels can shift in a healthier direction. That's why so many men report feeling not just physically better, but more motivated, confident, and even more optimistic when they commit to a circulation-friendly breakfast. There's also the mental side. If you start your day with foods that signal strength, vitality, and self-care, you carry that feeling into the rest of the day. It becomes easier to choose a walk over the couch, water over soda, and patience over frustration. Momentum builds. You begin to feel like the version of yourself you thought you'd lost. Let me leave you with one last example. Charles, 72, had been retired for 7 years and told me he felt like his body was slowing into a stop. We built him a morning plan: a spinach omelet, Greek yogurt with blueberries, half an avocado on rye toast, 2 squares of dark chocolate with coffee, and a shot glass of pomegranate juice. Within 1 month, he'd dropped 6 pounds without trying, his hands were warm for the first time in years, and he told me he woke up each morning looking forward to the day instead of dragging himself out of bed. That's the transformation these foods can deliver, not because they're magic, but because they work with your body's natural systems instead of against them. If you take nothing else from this conversation, take this. What you put in your body within the first hour of your day is either fueling your decline or fueling your comeback. You can't control every factor of aging, but you can absolutely control the quality of your circulation, your energy, and your vitality by the choices you make each morning. The difference between feeling older than your years and feeling strong, capable, and alive often comes down to simple, consistent habits. So, tomorrow morning, before you reach for that sugary cereal or skip breakfast altogether, remember you have options. Delicious, satisfying, science-backed options. Spinach, Greek yogurt with berries, avocado, dark chocolate, pomegranate. They're not exotic or expensive, they're not complicated, but they are powerful. And when you bring them into your life consistently, they can help you reclaim the circulation, the energy, and the confidence you thought you'd left behind. Because the truth is, it's never too late to change your trajectory. I've seen men in their late 70s turn things around so dramatically, their friends ask if they'd found the fountain of youth. They hadn't. They'd just learned the secret you now know. That small, smart changes, repeated daily, can create results that feel almost unbelievable. The only question left is, what's stopping you from starting tomorrow?